Welcome. In this JVLA 2.0 tutorial, we're going to do two things. We're going to learn how to message our course users individually using the messaging function, and we're going to learn how to send a message to all of our course users using the news forum. Let's begin. First, you'll want to come to your courses.jvla.org homepage, which looks like this. Then you'll want to select the course that you would like to send messages from. So I'm going to use my test course here, and my test course shows up. We're going to start by taking a look at how to send a message to individual participants in my test course. I will want to simply go to the navigation block and select Participants. Here, a list of my course participants shows up. This course has a total of 5 participants. You can see them here listed with their current role, all participants, their email address, city, town, country, and last access. I'm going to go ahead and just email myself. Jasmine does one. It's a second user account that I've created for this test course. And I'm going to go ahead and with selected users, hit send a message. And as you can see here, my messaging box shows up for messaging body formatting. It's telling me that I've added one new recipient. If I accidentally hit the wrong name, I can keep searching in order to send a message to the right person. Or if I know that I don't want a person or a student or a participant, I can select remove. As you can see here, I'm just sort of waiting for the page to load right here momentarily so that I can format my message correctly, because all of my editing tools are going to show up right here. You see, all of my editing tools are here. So I'm going to go ahead and just type a simple message. Hello, Jasmine. This is a test message for my test course. And again, you can format it just like you would a normal message. If I wanted to bold this or underline it, I can do so. If I wanted to hyperlink anything, then I can do so here. But the only thing I can do is I can hyperlink a URL. So for example, I can just link this to YouTube if I want for whatever reason. And I might want to say to open in a new window. And then I can, it's asking me that if I wanted to add the required HTTP prefix, and of course I do, so I hit OK. And then you can slightly see it, but it turns up blue here on my message. And then I'll just do this here. And I can preview. And it'll take me to the HTML format preview where I see a copy of my message and I see that the word test is hyperlinked. And my message looks good. I've previewed it, and if I wanted to change it, I could simply select update and it would take me back to the previous page where I could change whatever I needed to make it correct. But since everything looks good here, I'm going to go ahead and send my message. And it's taking a moment to think about it, and it tells me selected users have been messaged and the recipient list has been reset. So when I go back to my participants list, if I wanted to send a new message to another student, no boxes are selected. So I could easily send a message to another student, again myself at a different email address, send a message, and the same process would occur. So since I'm done here, I'm going to go ahead and go back to, this is my participants list. I'm going to go ahead and go back to my current course, which is my test course. And if you remember correctly, again, also another way that you can send messages to your students, I'll go ahead and turn editing on, and I can add a block. If I want to add the people block, then automatically my participants would just be there and I wouldn't have to go to my navigation block. Or I could also add the menu block, the messages block. And when my message block comes up, I could see if I have messages waiting, and I could send messages to individual users. The people block, participants show up just like they would if it was your navigation block. You see that there. The messaging block looks a little bit different. It'll take you to messages, and you'll have to go to message navigation and go to the specific course that you want to send a message from. And then those individual participants would show up. And this is also a good way to see the history of messages sent between and back and forth from you and that student. So this student I have here, some messages between Stephen Hessler and I, as you can see that, back and forth. As you can see here, all of our messages, messages back and forth here between Jeff Hausman and I. So this is a good way that allows you to track messages sent and received between you and an individual student. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to my course. It's going to take me back to home here from here. So that's a little tricky as well, maybe not the most convenient way to get back, but back to my test course. So those were the basic ways on how you can send a message to participants, to individual participants using the messaging function. If you want to send a message to your whole course, go ahead and turn editing off, to everyone in your course, as mentioned before, the news forum is a standard feature that comes on all JVLA course sites. So I'm going to go ahead and select News Forum. Again, the news forum is a great way to send general news and announcements to all course users. As you can see here, I've already sent some messages in the past, and my co-teacher, Jeff Hausman, has already sent some messages in the past to all course users, and so you would see those discussion topics listed there. Remember, in a news forum, only teachers have the ability to post new discussion threads. So I'm going to go ahead and add a new topic. And just like a regular form, it's asking me for a subject, so a welcome message. And here also my editing tools would normally show up here. So I'm just going to go ahead and say, while it loads, welcome, oh, it's moving me around a little bit, welcome students to the test course. This is your first week in class. Hope you enjoy all the assignments. So this is just a silly little simple message here. But again, same capabilities. I can hyperlink anything, or actually upload an image if I wanted to. Here, I can hyperlink to a website. I can also browse and attach files here this time, link a file to somewhere else, insert emoticons. I can insert a moodle media, so if I wanted to record my voice and have audio inserted here, I could do that now. I can make a recording, and the recording player would show up, just as mentioned before. I can also attach files from anywhere, specific files, which is similar to linking a file, but they'll actually automatically see it there. And so I'll just have my weekly course bulletin. Go ahead and select this file that I can attach to it. And once I've done everything that I wanted to do, I can either mail it now, which means the students would receive it right away. If I don't mail it now, they're going to receive it by the end of the workday, usually 6 p.m., 5 p.m. Central, more or less. I don't necessarily need to mail it now, but I could if there was something urgent that I wanted all students to see right away. Since this doesn't have to go out until the end of the day, I just am going to post to the forum. And it tells me that it's successfully added, and I have 30 minutes to edit if I wanted to edit anything, since I didn't mail it right away. And then you can see here that my welcome message shows up. So I can see my welcome message, and there's the attachment that students can access, and there's a message. If you so choose, you can have students be able to reply to your news forum, but the general standard format of the news forum is that students can only read the message. They cannot reply to it, but they can reply to the email that is sent to them. So that is an option. So I'll go ahead and go back to my news forum, and you can see again all of the discussions that have been posted, the last post if you have read it, and any replies that were posted if that's a setting that you choose to include. And so this is the most basic way to send a message in your news forum. And as you can see here on the right hand side in the right block, the latest news welcome message shows up. So if they for some reason can't access this icon, which would be rare, and there's no excuse, they can see the latest news in the latest news block on their home screen. So all of the latest messages that have been posted are now on the right hand corner of the latest news, and they can click on it and it shows up directly. So those are the ways that you can send an individual message using participants and individualing message function through Moodle, or a course message or announcement using the news forum. Thank you, and let me know if you have any questions.